point is that over time, right? Like all these things, different things came out, right? And it was fun. It was fun. It was great, right? And you know, like PUBG came out. H1Z1 was, you know, doing so well in the markets on Twitch and stuff like that, and a lot of people grew up with that kind of game, right? And then Fortnite came out. Well, Fortnite was already out. Fortnite actually had a PvE mode that I was actually waiting for, but then Battle Royale came out and took control of the entire thing, and then made Epic completely forget about the PvE mode, which sucks. But hey, I will forever be mad about that, forever. But point is that PvE mode came out. The PvP mode was a thing. VR popped off. VR is now adding millions and millions of dollars every single month. Who really cares about the money they make at this point? Epic can buy my house 10 times over, 100 times over, 2,000 million billion times over. It doesn't really matter, right? They made so much money off of that title, right? It doesn't really matter, right? And I remember also a bunch of other games came out. I remember Darwin Project was a PR. I guess I'll consider Darwin Project a PR. I remember there were also a lot of other games I don't remember that I probably am going to forget. I apologize if I forget it, but hey, it doesn't really matter, does it? No, it doesn't, right? Point is, right? A lot of games came out, and I really wish, you know, we need another one. You know, we need another market push, right? We need another market push for games. Hopefully, when this COVID stuff starts disappearing, right? Whether or not you believe in vaccines, hopefully it disappears over time, right? Because enough people are getting, you know, vaccinated. You know, it doesn't matter if you believe or don't believe in the vaccines, right? I don't care, right? But you know, at the end of the day, if you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. Hopefully, enough people that do get it, you make the numbers jump down a little bit less and less, and that over time it is going away slowly, right? But for the most part, hopefully we come back to another great craze where there's like developers. Ooh, you know what? A great craze would be. Imagine it. An MMO, or you know, well, we already had an MMO RPG craze. You know, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft. It already happened, right? You know, I hope. Let me see. Maybe a UGC craze. A UGC craze would be amazing. Okay, so what is UGC, right? UGC is basically what I'm playing right now, right? User generated content type of game, right? Core, right? You guys heard of Core, Roblox, you know, stuff like that, right? There's actually another one called Yahaha Studios. It actually looks really good. I'm actually right now they're doing alpha testing in Europe at the time of this video. They're not doing alpha testing in North America at the moment, but I'm actually in the Discord for that. I'm actually hoping that the game will come out soon. It actually looks really, really good. I hope there's a UGC craze, because I think that UGC games will be so much fun to play, because UGC games are kind of good in what they do, right? And I'm not talking about like Unity or Unreal. Like Unity or Unreal are game engines, and so are the UGC games. UGC games are kind of like it's kind of like preset character models, right? It's kind of like think of like Roblox, but like not Roblox, where it's like a different character model, right? Like Core, Yahaha games, right? Like think of like I made like a title on Unity, right? And I called this game, and I called it I called it Blue Stomper, right? Blue Stomper was basically a UGC title type of game where players can make maps and upload it on a server where they can play with other people, right? Basically stuff like that. Like that's what like UGC is, right? Like people can like make a game, a server easily. They can host it for their friends without having to worry about server costs, multiplayer, infrastructure, all that stuff, right? Like if you ever looked up multiplayer infrastructure on Unity, you realize why UGC games are so fun and why they're so great, because like you know what I mean, like if you ever play like a really good like old like game on Unity or like itch.io, and you're like, man, I wish this game was online and not local, right? You know, if you ever said that, and that's basically why UGC games are important, because like games like this are able, like I could play this, I could play this with like Celia, Sarah, Chauvel, whoever these guys are, and I could play with them without needing the need for a server, without needing to know who they are, without needing to know their IP, all that boring information, right? Like that's why UGC games are so great. Because a lot of them don't require this. There probably are some that do require it. I can't tell what the game wants me to jump on. It's so annoying. So frustrating. Point is, right, is that over time, like I said, that's why UGC games are so great, because a lot of them don't require a character to don't require a player to host their own servers. I know there are some UGC platforms that do require a player to do that, but they don't really take off because, well, you kind of need money, right? Like, you know, like YouTube, for example, right? Like YouTube, like you can make a video on YouTube, you can leave it there and people can comment on it, people can like the video, people can dislike it, they can link it to their friends and they can try it out if their friends want to do it, you know, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that lets people be like, hey man, this game looks pretty cool, I want to play it. And they go like, oh my gosh, you can play it too. And I'm like, whoa, we can play it right now. Whoa, really? We could play it like 5 in the morning. Whoa, really? You know, like, you know, it's not running on any specific server. You know, like you know, like you don't need like Hamachi, like Minecraft. Like Minecraft is like a UGC based game, right? Well, kind of, but like the multiplayer aspect is like a UGC based game, right? But like with like Minecraft, like you need to pay for dedicated servers. Like there's no free dedicated. I mean, like, kind of like. I mean, like, there are official, I guess nowadays, right? Like, nowadays, there are official dedicated servers that you can pay for, right? Personally, right? But, like, back in the days, right? Back in the days, you would have to download and buy and pay for unofficial servers, right? So, back then, like, Minecraft was considered a UGC type of game, right? And it still is, of course, right? But, like, back then, like, it's like the same thing, right? It's like the same thing basically, but it's so cool, and I really want to see like a craze of that come out, where it's like a bunch of these games are like trying to like do things, and then maybe one day a game could overtake Roblox. Because hey, this company is pretty trash. I'm not gonna say it's trash. I think trash is a bad word to use. Like, I love playing this game. Like, I love the memories it caused, and I'll never trade those for the world. I spent 24 hours on this game multiple times in my lifespan playing these different games, and I would forever not regret those moments. Jeez, I met friends who played this game a long time ago in summer camp. I played a couple games with them in the past, and I still have them added on Roblox to this day. Like, I will forever have an attachment to this game, but this game needs serious competition. This game needs competition. It needs it. It needs competition, right? Like, it needs a competition. It needs it, right? And so a UGC like hype train would be so much fun, because you'll see like so many different platforms and scripting languages and IDEs. Oh god, I'm getting kind of technical here. You'll see so many like programming languages, like, you know, like imagine like a language, like imagine a language that's using Java or JavaScript for game development, right? Or something like you know, like a modified Java and JavaScript for game development, or like a modified C++ or C#, right? For like as the UGC platform, right? Like imagine that, like stuff like that would be great, because it'll push so many new scripting languages out of the woodworks, and it'll give players and developers a chance to be like, hey, like this scripting language is pretty good. Let's give it a shot, right? Or you know, it'll give players, it'll give like developers a chance to use new integrated development environments. And if you don't know what IDE means, oh my god, it's basically, an IDE is basically just, okay, how do I explain it? It's basically like, just think of like Word, just think of Microsoft Word, but Microsoft Word reads a special language, right? It's like, imagine Microsoft Word, but Microsoft Word is designed to read Spanish, right? Like, it's designed to read a Spanish version, right? So it's like Spanish Microsoft Word. That makes no sense. You know, it sounds more confusing than what it is. You know, I'm just say the most technical way possible, and then I'll say it a very simple way. An IDE is basically a thing that runs and executes code, right? It runs the code, it executes the code and stuff like that. It does all those great things, right? It's great, right? It does a lot of cool things, right? That's what an IDE. It runs and executes code, and you can put code into it. You can run it. You can press the run button and compile it. It does all that stuff for you, right? Right, basically. Right, it does all that stuff, right? But for the most part, I'm saying for the most part too much. I kind of lost track. Like I said, I lose track a lot, right? But like I said, like, imagine just new UGC games coming out with scripting languages, IDEs, workflows, like that'd be so cool, and I really can't wait to see what like this like game I'm watching called like Ya Ha Ha It's a dumb name. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a weird name. But I can't wait to see like what Yahaha brings to like the table of UGC development, because I really want to see great games pop off. I really want to see new things do well. Like I really want to see like a craze of this kind of thing, like where like pop off, where like new people can like create games, and Roblox would probably step up their game because they realize, hey, we now have competition. We now have people that will migrate to this game if they realize that developers are getting treated better. Like, I'm not saying that Roblox developers get treated badly. Like, I know PMG made a video about it. PMG called like Roblox is exploiting young developers, and here's my opinion for it. If you think Roblox is exploiting its developers, every game engine does that. Like, you guys should have seen early Unity. Early Unity was even, people hated early Unity. Early Unity has some weird scripting practices. Had some weird business practices. They would change their models. They would change their business practices straight up, and they only really changed and started changing when they got competition, right? Like when they got Unreal Engine, like when Unreal Engine started becoming more free, when new engines came out, like when game developer engine, I don't know what's that script called, right? Whenever that engine came out, like whole new things started coming out for it, whole new stuff like started happening, and all this great, right? And all this great things, right? But early Roblox needs the same kind of thing. It needs the same kind of energy, right? I think it is still easier to make a good-looking obby and make it is easier. It is downright easier to do a lot of things that Roblox that you can do on this. They can do on this engine that they can't do on others. And as someone who has used Unity, Godot, and some Unreal, right, and this engine, and Core Game Engine, and Buildbox. I dabbled in like a little bit of each of them, right? And I uploaded games in 3 of them, at least, which is pretty fine to me. As someone who has used all 3 of them, you will see the massive difference in even trying to put something on the itch.io page itself. Like, okay, so imagine making an entire Unity game yourself, right? Like you build a character, like you make a character, like you make a 3D movement script. A 3D movement script isn't that hard, right? Like as soon as you make like your first one, the other ones are pretty easy to make, and they're not hard at all. Like seriously, like at all. But like as soon as you get better at it, like you'll realize it. But I mean, like for the most part, right? It is so easy. It is so easy, right? It is so easy to realize what this engine does, like what the Roblox engine does compared to like Unity, right? Like literally, but by the time you start up a base plate in this engine, you can literally turn your game into first person immediately. Your game can be first person immediately, and that's the beautiful part about it. Ooh, that's actually a kind of an interesting idea. I got some cool stuff I can do with that one. All right, cool, right? Like you'll realize like how easy it is to build something out of nothing in like 10 minutes flat. Like your character has a base plate, has a world, has a character. You have a 3D movement script. You have character movement. You have a 3D server, all from day one. And I think a lot of people disregard that fact, and that's why I think a lot of people should do, like, search up your own opinions about something and get your own facts before you scream at something for being bad, right? Like before you scream at another company, another thing for being bad and exploiting, understand why some people do what they do, right? And why it's not like that engine, right? Because I feel like the thing is that people expect the world to, and it's just gonna sound weird, and I don't want it to sound weird, but the thing is that, like, from what I noticed, people expect things to be 100% free. They hate things that do anything, right? Like, I remember, like, if you go to like a website, right, and I've been guilty of this, right? I've been guilty of doing this, and I'll be honest, I've done this because YouTube has gotten crazy, right? Ad blocker. I feel like ad blocker is one of those things where, like, people use ad blocker on every single site, but they don't realize that, like, that a lot of people say that they hate seeing ads, but they expect every website to also be free, and I think that's very selfish, right? I think that's very selfish here, and I know a lot of people are going to be questioning me. A lot of people are going to be questioning me on this. A lot of people expect things to be free and open source, but a lot of people won't support those things because then they expect someone else to support it. Their whole idea is that why should I support it if 10 million other people are going to support it, right? And that's the idea, right? Now, if 10 million people think like that, how many people are actually going to be making money off of that title, right? And that's the idea. People expect things to be free. Like if you play a game, right, and players see and players are playing a game, and then they see, hey man, to continue in this game, you have to pay $5 to continue playing. A lot of players are gonna be like, why do I have to pay $5 to continue playing your game? I don't like this. You know, and you're gonna see stuff like that on the App Store all day long, right? That is so common to see that, and it's so frustrating when I do see it because I don't mind it. I see a really good game that's well polished, that's well designed. Like, I believe that they should have a paywall. I believe that they should. I personally believe, because I believe that a game of certain quality, you should be able to pay for it. Come on, like a free version and then you pay for it. It's not a bad idea. Yes, some developers, some companies do exploit that idea. And I don't believe, and that's not, and those aren't the people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people that exploit those titles, right? I'm talking about those developers specifically that make a really good game, and then people expect everything to be free. Those are the parts that I really get annoyed about. I'm gonna use a skip here, because why not? I'm gonna use a skip here. We like skip stage 14. Yeah, there you go. You can buy skips too. You can buy a bunch of skips, passes, easy mode. What is easy mode actually? I have no idea. I'm gonna look at some of this stuff offline. I'm gonna go see what some of this stuff is. Some of this stuff looks kind of interesting to me. It looks kind of fun. But yeah, guys, I think I'm done for now. I think I got pretty far. I got 414. I'm gonna get 415 and end up here. This was fun. I will talk about that whole idea of like whether or not something is free or whether or not something should be charged. I don't think Roblox is entirely wrong for charging the prices that they do compared to sites like Unity and Unreal Engine because of the free stuff they give, right? Because of the fact that when you open Roblox the first time ever, you're gonna get an editor, an IDE, a player controller, a character, dedicated servers, or like for example, like players have put games up long ago in 2009. And their servers are still up and running that have full multiplayer support. It is very difficult to find a Unity game that's running from 2009 that still has multiplayer support to this day because the developers don't want to buy dedicated server support. But it is so easy to do that for any game on this site. That's the thing. That's the thing that a lot of people seem to forget. A lot of people seem to think that a lot of this stuff is free. And I really want to do a topic on that one of these days, for sure. And I'll probably do one next time. Baby, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video, tell your friends about it, yada, yada, yada. If you guys like the video, tell your friends, all this stuff inside the game. Check out the game link. The game link will be inside the game if you guys want to play it. I think it might be kind of worth. The game is not that bad. It's 750 stages. I don't know if I'll beat it next time. I might actually beat it, depending on how far I want to go. If you guys would like to see more, obviously, like the video, tell your friends about it. Subscribe, like, for more videos. I'll be video this type. Check out all the other content I have inside the description below that you guys might like to see. And then yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye. This was fun. Like I said, I want to talk about it next time. I really do think a lot of people don't do their own research, and I really want to tell people it might be a good time to do their own research, to do their own thing. To do that, right? What is this? The stage 500. You could literally buy. That's funny. Oh, I can buy a pet actually. Wait, can I buy a pet? Why 14 jump? Ooh. Or should I wait? No, I'm buying peacock. Yeah, I'm buying peacock. Pet bought. What does it do? What does it do? Pets. Evil. I have the evil bear. Oh, I have a peacock. Cool. Hey, there you go. I got a peacock. Yeah, I'll use it next time. All right. I'll see you guys later. Wait. Wait, that wave was so ugly. Ew, I want my other one. I don't like this wave. Why'd you change this wave? I gotta do this again. See you guys later. Bye.